guys, and welcome to the Family Fudge. I'm Jennifer, and today for What's for Dinner Wednesday, I'm making chicken enchilada casserole with a creamy white sauce. Now, if you know me, you know I love recipes that are both easy and economical. And I'm a big fan of freezer meals as well. And so today's recipe fits all of those things. But most importantly, it's delicious. I think you're gonna love it, so stay tuned. So for today's recipe, I'm actually gonna start with a store-bought rotisserie chicken. I like the ones from Costco. They're really tasty and they're only $5. I'm gonna take that one rotisserie chicken and actually make 2 dinners. I'm gonna make one for tonight, and I'm gonna make another one that I can freeze for a later date. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. But keep in mind, I'm actually gonna be making double the amount. So you could easily cut this recipe in half if you just wanted to make one. The reason I decided to make 2 is because when you get a rotisserie chicken, you get so much meat. It's definitely enough meat for my family to make 2 meals. So that's what I'm starting with. 1 rotisserie chicken from Costco, and I've taken off the bone and just shredded it up so it's ready to go. So quick, so easy, and very flavorful. Next up is the cheese. I highly recommend getting the best quality cheese that you can. I really like this brand. It's not full of fillers or any weird stuff. This is Monterey Jack, and I'm gonna be using about 6 cups for the 2 meals, so very cheesy. Next up is butter, just about 6 tablespoons, and then 6 tablespoons of flour. These guys are gonna help make our yummy, creamy sauce. Then we have some chicken stock. I'm actually gonna be using this whole carton, which is about 4 cups. And then the sour cream. We're actually gonna be using 2 cups of sour cream, but don't forget, this is going in 2 meals. I'm also gonna be adding 2 4-ounce cans of the mild diced green chilies, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic, and finally, some green onions. I'm probably gonna use about half of this bunch, and I'm gonna be using the green and the white. Whoops, I almost forgot about the tortillas. Now you can use flour or corn, whichever you prefer, but I need my dinner to be gluten-free, so I'm using these corn tortillas. The first thing I'm gonna do is prepare our filling. I'm gonna take all of our rotisserie chicken and add it to a large bowl. That is a lot of chicken for $5, such a good deal. Next comes the cheese. Now some of this cheese is going in the filling, and some of it I'm gonna reserve to top our enchiladas. Right now I'm gonna add about 2 cups of cheese. Very cheesy. To this I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic. To this I'm gonna add about 1/3 cup of sour cream, and then the green onion. I'm gonna start with just 2 of them. And I'm gonna use my kitchen scissors to cut them directly into my bowl. Next, I'm gonna stir to combine. Okay, now that our filling is ready to go, I'm gonna get started on our creamy white sauce. In my large skillet over medium heat, I'm gonna add 6 tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna let it melt. Now that our butter is melted, it's time to add our flour. And I'm just gonna whisk this up and let it cook for about a minute so that our flour doesn't have a raw taste to it. Next up is our chicken broth. I'm gonna add 4 cups, which is this entire carton. Now I'm just gonna cook our sauce for a couple of minutes until it's thickened and it's bubbling. Okay, this is coming along nicely. It's almost there. I just want you guys to keep in mind that your sauce may look a little bit different than mine because I'm using the gluten-free flour, and it makes it a little bit of a darker color. Okay guys, now as you can see, my sauce is really nice and thick now. So I'm gonna turn my heat off, and I'm gonna let it cool down for about 4 to 5 minutes before I add the sour cream. That way, hopefully the sour cream won't curdle. And while I'm waiting for this, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 because after we build our casserole, we're gonna pop one of them into the oven. Now that my sauce has had a chance to cool, I'm gonna add all of our sour cream. And I'm just gonna stir to combine. Now at this point, you can add your green chilies. If you like your spicy, go ahead and use medium or hot, but I'm gonna be using mild. And just mix it in. It smells so good. Now when this is cooled down enough, you can give it a little taste to see if you want any salt or pepper. Okay, I do think it needs a little bit of salt, but I don't want to add too much because I am going to be adding a lot of cheese. So I'm just going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and probably just a couple of shakes of pepper. I want my kids to eat it, so I don't want it too hot. And now we can start assembling our casseroles. I just want to give each pan a light coating of cooking spray, so hopefully nothing sticks. And then into each pan, I'm gonna ladle a little bit of our creamy sauce right onto the bottom. And I'm gonna spread it out. Tortillas are up next. Now, if you're using flour tortillas, you could actually fill each tortilla and roll them the traditional way and set them in your pan. But what I'm gonna do with my corn tortillas is actually do it more like a lasagna. Next up is our chicken cheese mixture. I'm gonna put half in this one and half in that one. Look at all the meat and cheese, you know it's gonna be good. Now on top of our cheese and meat mixture, I'm gonna put 1 ladle of our sauce. Keep this nice and moist in here. And now for another layer of tortillas. Okay, so far so good. My next step is to take all of this sauce and spread it between both pans. Now we just want to spread our sauce all over the top. And you can definitely tell these are not going to be dry enchiladas. There's plenty of yummy, creamy sauce. And finally, I'm going to sprinkle each of these with a handful or 2 of Monterey Jack cheese. Okay, now at this point, I'm gonna put this one into my preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until it's heated through and the cheese is nice and golden brown and bubbly. And then this one I'm gonna wrap up and put in the freezer. Now this is cooled down enough that I can go ahead and wrap it in some plastic wrap first. I like to do it this way with my freezer meals. I feel like they can stay fresher this way. And then a layer of aluminum foil. Now when I want to reheat this, I'm going to take it out of the freezer the night before and let it defrost in the fridge. And before I put it in the oven, I'm going to take off my aluminum foil, remove the plastic, put the aluminum foil back on, and stick it in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And towards the end of your cooking time, you might want to remove the foil just so that the cheese can get nice and browned. Okay guys, there it is. Doesn't that look delicious? It smells really good. But I do have to say, after about 25 minutes, it really wasn't as brown as I wanted it to be, so I did go ahead and turn on the broiler. So it's cooled down a little bit, and I went ahead and garnished it with some extra green onion, and now we can dig in. Ta-da! There you have it. And now to give it a try. Yum, you guys, it is so good. The mild green chilies are perfect. They're not too spicy. I hope you guys love it. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, because I like to share a new recipe every Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.